So, what is poppin', everyone? You all read the title video, so let's get on into this. So, I really wanted to do something spiritual today because I have just a lot of cleansing energy today. Like, I finished cleaning my room. Like, we just moved a couple weeks ago, and I've completely finished unpacking everything in my room today. I went to my car, cleaned it completely. Just things I've been putting off, I did with my spaces that I'm in. So with that, I wanted to start the session with some sage. This is like a pretty new sage. I think I've used it like once or twice now. So we're just gonna cleanse the crystals I'll be working with today. And just that I'll be kind of showcasing y'all. It's been a really long time since I've sat down and really tried to connect spiritually. So I wanted to make this video because usually I don't know, it's a very magical thing, and if you're someone who's kind of taken a step back from spirituality, hopefully this video will help you kind of motivate you to try again. Even if it's just like one time of the week, it's gonna help. So I also have tarot deck, which I will be cleansing as well. It's a lot of smoke despite not having that big of a flame, so I guess it's a lot of cleansing today. Yes, so much smoke. So holy shit, that's a lot of smoke. Oh my god, I've actually never had it burn this long before. That's crazy. Y'all see it, like that's a lot of smoke. Okay. I guess it's gonna be a huge cleansing, which today I kind of just sat down with my thoughts, and I feel like the rest of 2024 is gonna be about reflecting, of course, because we are in the middle of November. It's getting close to the end of the year. So reflecting a little bit about the year, but mostly releasing. Okay. Releasing what was. So it's basically like we are elevating, we're stepping into a new reality of ours. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I know for me, I can definitely go back through my life and think, especially like teenager and up, for sure, it's definitely been in like phases where it's like that, this is like phase, where it's like that kind of defines this chunk, this chunk, this chunk, especially as an adult, like definitely phases of character. Okay, I just sneezed. Yeah, just different phases of authenticity, because I know that basically when I became an adult, I stepped into the first time being myself. I don't know if anyone else went through that. You know, it was like I went off to college, out of state, to get a new fresh start of life, wanted distance from my family, and that was the first time I really got to kind of be myself. Lots of trials and, you know, because it was the first time, but so when I was like 18 and when I went off to college, it was very much like my sense of reality that was my childhood shattered. Interesting. Like from a spiritual sense, like that's very interesting. That happened when I was 18. So brand new as an adult and completely new to who I was. And since then, it's really been about like becoming who I am and stepping up to who I need to be for myself, to take care of myself, and that includes being myself authentically, like doing what I'm aligned to be, doing things to get me to be who I am aligned to be. So, like in high school, I had a lot of depression, and looking back at it, I kind of feel like it was like that, in a spiritual sense, was like I went through that to kind of be the death of my reality from my childhood. So like that depression was like a lot of darkness and battling a lot of darkness, because everything that was my reality was about to crash and burn, if that makes sense. So sometimes when you go through a lot in life, it's because you need to be in that energy to get that transformation. You know, it's like entering that chaos so that it breaks you from something, from a sense of reality that could be like really stuck on. Because I feel like a lot of my childhood, I resonate with like kind of being brainwashed. I don't know if anyone else senses that with their childhood, where it's very much like brainwash energy. And I feel like that's why it needed so much like darkness to like crumple everything, like a true destruction. And then after the destruction, everything was destroyed, obviously. And it took a long time to kind of piece things together. And it was just like the song, I'm a new soul in this very strange world. That song I really resonated with when I was younger, like early adulthood. So I just feel very called to just say all that, because I don't know who watches my channel, but like I wish that someone could kind of like tell me, I don't know, I'm just being called to say this right now. So anyways, then a lot of it was after when I was 18 again, everything was destroyed. So it was a lot of trial and tribulation to see, is this who I am? Is this who I am? Is this what I want to do with my life? Is this what I want to do with my life? A lot of that. And that includes a lot of like friendship too, where it's like, are these the type of people I want in my life? Are these the type of people I want in my life? It's really hard. But at the beginning of 2024 and the end of 2023, I felt a huge presence, if you will, that 2024 was going to be a huge transformative year for me, and it was. The first half of it was hard, okay? I had a lot of alone time, which for the most part I spent very wisely, meditating, taking care of myself. Yeah. The second half got a lot more busy, and that's when everything changed. Every single thing about my reality from when I was 19 to the beginning of when I was 24, all of that, like, I exited that reality. Crazy. So now I'm really getting this call of like that 2025, when I finally turn 25, is gonna be this, I just get this presence of new and all the synonyms with like fresh, restart. And not even like restart, but just like new. So it's like a new reality, which makes sense because so far, again, like the last half of 2024, especially the last quarter of 2024, my life has dramatically changed. Like, I have my first car that I own, that I pay for, first time, completely on my own name. First time on a lease for an apartment, like, someone can't just kick me out, like, I'm on the lease. New job, first time working a full-time job, with like the 9 to 5 hours. Just new. I started a new relationship in June. First girlfriend. Just a lot of these firsts and new. And I feel like that trend is going to continue into 2025 for me. I don't know if it's going to resonate with anyone else who watches this video. I could totally put like a super clickbaity video title of like, watch this. Like, if you're seeing this now, it's meant for you. But like, I have no idea. But yeah, I just, for 2025, a lot of it's going to be new energy. You know, and I think that makes a lot of sense for me because it's like the first quarter of a century I will be done with in 2025. Wild. And I think the next quarter is going to be completely different. Like, the first quarter was basically childhood for me. Childhood, dealing with the consequences of childhood. Because let's be real, that, especially depending on what type of childhood you had, that takes a long time to overcome. And I did a lot of work to overcome a lot of the things that I mean, it's never really done. But the big things that I learned from childhood, there's some things I still have on the back burner, which I need to work on. But I'm in the position now to work on it. Like, one of the things I'm also being really called to work on in 2025 is to be more vocal with asking for help, asking for clarification, like basically not being so independent. Being more vocal, being the leader of my life. And to be the leader, you have to be good at communication. To be a good leader, you have to be vocal. And that's really a theme I'm going to be really trying to work on in 2025, is to be more vocal with specifically to help me with life. Because that's kind of why you are vocal, is to help you with your life. Ask for help to help you. Speak your opinion on things so people know your boundaries. That's gonna help you. Put your input on something so your authentic self is represented, etc., etc. That's why it's very important to be vocal. And I don't think it's a coincidence that for a couple months straight, and when I mean a couple, I mean probably a few months straight, I wore this pearl necklace, and these are real pearls. I got it from Etsy. It's like under $100, like $50, $60, $65, and less than $70. It's freshwater pearls, and this is a choker around my throat, which if you have difficulties speaking up for yourself, putting down boundaries, asking for help, all those things are a throat chakra issue, okay? So you really have to heal that throat chakra. Now, when I was 18, I first started therapy. Whenever I would talk about wanting to, like, really difficult things, like the true darkness I was not sharing with anyone else, like true darkness stuff, my throat would literally start to hurt and like close up. Like I could not speak. Like that's why I'll never forget it, because like I was in therapy and they would like, I remember this one time I was like, I really want to like off myself. And so I had like my therapist and like the head therapist of the department, because it was at a university therapy. Anyways, they were both in there asking me questions and stuff, and my throat literally, like, I could not speak. Like I physically could not speak. I was trying and trying and trying, but nothing was coming out. Like I couldn't speak. And I think that says a lot about how my childhood was like, my throat literally would like, there's a huge blockage there. I haven't had that problem since I was 18. But I will never forget that, because that to me is like a huge, like, nothing is gonna tell you more that you have a throat chakra problem than like your throat literally like closed, like you can't speak. So I need to do a lot of like throat chakra healing this year. Also, like till the end of this year, I'll be trying to heal that too. So a lot of manifestations, a lot of affirmations, and a lot of trial and error. To me, the best place to work on being more vocal is definitely at work. I don't know what y'all do for work, but for me, it's always been like at work is a huge opportunity to ask for help, put your opinion on things, etc., etc. So now to finally get into the tarot deck. I really, because I'm an Aries, and Aries are supposed to be like natural born leaders, right? And I feel like this next quarter of my life is really gonna be becoming a leader. Whether that be just a leader of my life, or just a leader in my life, like just for myself, or just like my personal impact on the personal people I have in my life. Friends, coworkers, people I meet at the grocery store, all these things, leader. Like that's where it's like transforming into being leader. I already do that with my fashion. Like, my fashion is very out there. I used to just dress up, like, wear makeup like this, wear wigs. Like, this is my outfit for today, okay? Like, I'm in Texas, so wearing something like this draws a lot of attention, okay? A lot of attention, especially after this election, girl. Wearing these colors. But, yeah, I used to dress up. So, like, I would dress up something like this with my platform boots that are, like, this tall and walk around the mall just to, like, help me get out of my bubble of what are people gonna think and stuff like that. And I got mostly, what I mean mostly, I mean, like, almost all, except for really my mom, were, like, very, like, I would get compliments a lot. So that helped my self-esteem a lot, just being in those nurturing environments where it's like, I'm literally going out in the grocery store dressed like this, to the mall, just walking around, or like in the grocery store, just getting my groceries. Random people will just come up to me and compliment how I look. Like, and I would always do very vibrant makeup for work when I used to work at Starbucks. Like, I didn't care what people thought about me when I worked at Starbucks, to be honest. That kind of only started when I started working this new job. Like, after a lot of trauma and stuff like that, then I started to kind of like dim it down, but we're slowly getting back there. Okay, we are slowly but surely getting back to that spot I was at. Because that is my most authentic self, is to be in that vibration of, I don't care what anyone else thinks about me. I'm gonna do me because this is authentic to me, this makes me happy, and I'm going to strut it off. Okay? And allow people to like it. It's like, I wore a very, very similar makeup look yesterday to work to this. No one else looks like this at my job. Like, no one else would do something like this at my job. But a lot of people complimented it. So I really like that, because like, if everyone wanted to be like negative about it, then it's like, okay, I don't belong here. I need to get out of this. This is not a nurturing environment for me. Because for most of my life with my parents, it was very, very negative. And I learned that I can just have a lot more peace in life if I just am in places that are more accepting of me. Now, that doesn't mean you need to be accepted by everyone, but to constantly be criticized, especially by people who have power over you, like, if you dealt with that, you know, just, it's so, like, it just causes a lot of anger for me. Okay, so I'm getting into these cards, all talking about this, because I feel like it's all related, because being more vocal is also, like, visuals, too. Like, that's the first step, I think. For me, it was, like, the visual aspect of just being seen unapologetically doing me. Like, I'm not hurting anyone doing this. Like, okay. For the first card, King of Swords, logic, intellectual, fairness, truth, and mental sharpness. I think what I'm getting from this with the vocal aspect is very much like, it's only fair to you to say your truth. And that's like, one of the words too is truth. So fairness and truth. Like, it's only fair that you speak your truth. Logic, intellectual, and mental sharpness, that obviously all goes together. I think what that's telling me is definitely like, learning to know the difference of when it is time to speak up and when it's time to like keep something to yourself. I struggle with that a lot. That's why I don't really speak up. It's like I feel like I'm always overstepping, or it's like whatever. But like I definitely think with practice you will get that logic and intellect to have that mental sharpness to know the difference. Okay, that's a pretty good card. I'm gonna do 3 cards. Okay, so I have 2 of Cups. Love, romance, relationship, meeting, marriage, healing. I would say this is more like saying your truth or being your truth with your relationship. So maybe there's some boundaries in your relationship you need to communicate, or some opinions, or just things that'll make your relationship better for you and more satisfying for you. You need to communicate those things. And then marriage and stuff, like, I think a big thing too is there's a lot of people that are afraid to love who they want to love. A lot of girls who want to be with other girls, but they are too afraid to be with other girls. So it's more comfortable to be with a guy because of X, Y, and Z. I think being like part of that throat chakra would also be like speaking to the gender you want to love, you want love from. You don't let your fear, because on Bumble and stuff, I've matched with a couple girls who it's like, when it comes down to actually going on a date, they're too afraid. Literally, like, they're like, oh, my anxiety or whatever. And I'm like, girl, like, I'm not gonna do a virtual relationship with you. Like, we need to actually go on dates if we want to be in a relationship. Like, I see your location, how far you are. Well, we can do this. Like, so I think putting yourself out there by speaking more, maybe it's like when you're at the bar or something, go up to the person you think is attractive. Stuff like that, I think, is what that card is kind of hinting at. Marriage. Maybe you want to get married, but your partner hasn't really spoken to you about it. Maybe you don't want to get married and you haven't communicated that with your partner. A lot of communication in relationships. And to get a relationship, a lot of communication. Literally talking. So, okay, the last card we're gonna do is this one. The World. Completion, ending, success, reward, freedom, environment. This, I'm gonna say, is giving me reality shift. Like the world, it's giving me your world. Your reality is going to shift. There's a completion of that reality that we were in already, whether that be just now, 6 months ago, a year ago, a couple years, whatever. There's gonna be some sort of completion ending to a reality. And and there's going to be success, reward, freedom in this new reality. Maybe your environment is going to change, and that's how you're going to get these things. So environment could be work environment could be where you spend your free time, environment could be like your home, obviously. Environment, again, it could just be like maybe you're gonna move or something. Like, environment could be a lot of different things, but basically something in your reality right now. Or maybe, again, this has been like a process, like it has been for me. Something is coming to an end. A reality you were in. Your next reality is going to be filled with a lot of success, reward, freedom, so authenticity, abundance, and it's going to be related to an environment you're in. So again, maybe it's a new job, because I know for me, for a lot of us, like, again, this is my first time working a full-time job. Girl, I am at work more than I am at my house, because I am awake when I'm awake. I am at work more than at my house. Then I'm with my friends. Then I'm with my partner. Like, so it could be your job. Maybe you spend all your free time in your car or something. Like, you have a long commute. Maybe you're gonna get a new car or something. I don't know. But something about your environment is going to change. And I wonder if that has to do with being vocal. Maybe, this is like success, reward, freedom. So I wonder if maybe you talk more to people and you get better connections, or you talk out your feelings and you're able to really see what you want, maybe like with a therapist, and you're able to come to an understanding of what you want to do, and that brings you more success or something. Maybe it's at your own job and you advocate for yourself more. Yeah, I don't know, it could be like advocating or talking things out to understand what you want to do, or making connections to get into this new reality. Maybe it's talking to whatever, like, deities, universe, whatever you believe in. Maybe it's talking to them more, and that's how you get into this new reality. Ooh, I kind of resonated with that last one a lot, because I have not, again, done a lot of spirituality recently, and I feel like if I were to talk more to spiritual entities that I believe in, I would probably know my truth more. Because today I felt this calling of really sitting in silence. Maybe not complete silence, maybe with like some meditation music or something like that, you know, like no words, but my own. Even if it's just writing. That can heal your throat chakra too, because you're getting these thoughts out. So because like vocal isn't always speaking. Sometimes it can be writing a letter. or some sort of other way to communicate other than talking. Because like I work with kids on the spectrum and some of them cannot talk, but that doesn't mean they are nonverbal. They can still communicate through body language. We try to teach them sign language. We try to teach them on like a device to like that speaks for them. Like they press the words and they'll speak for them. Like there's other ways to speak than talking. So like working with the kids on the spectrum has really broadened this for me, because I'm like, throat chakra again could just be writing that email to your boss or something, or writing to the senators, or writing a post on your personal social media to speak your truth. Like that can be a lot of things. Like so that's my huge tip too. If you're a shy person and you don't always feel the courage to speak, you can always write an email. You can always send a text message. It's not a cowardly thing to do because your words are powerful. And in my opinion, it's a power move to send an email to your boss, because that is proof. You can't just be like, I never said that. You have no evidence. That's evidence. What you said. I said what I said. I meant what I said. Look at what I said. Like, I process it more. I just feel like written words are so underrated in this. Like, maybe because I love to journal so much, I don't know, but like written words are very powerful. Like, if you work in the medical field, you know how powerful written words are. Because documentation, written, they have to write that out. They can't just be like, I said that to somebody. No, they have to write that out. They have to give that evidence. So maybe you speaking your truth more isn't you actually speaking, but writing it out. Giving that text message to so-and-so. Giving a voice message to so-and-so. So if you don't have the courage to just go to someone's face and tell them that, mostly because of trauma, because let's be real here, a lot of us have trauma of like being shut down so many times that we don't even see the point of saying something because we already think we're going to be shut down. We're not going to be validated. No one's going to care. No one's going to be listening to us. It's not going to be taken seriously, so why even do it? Ooh. That's strong. But guess what? We have fairness and truth from our logic to know when to speak our truth, because it's fair to speak our truth. That's fair to us. Okay? Like, maybe you didn't get justice for something. Maybe your justice is speaking your truth so that you can have a community that, like, speaking your truth gives you that community to nurture you after this injustice happened to you. Or maybe somebody else has other tools, like that community sense. Like, you never know what that community's going to do for you. Especially like this love, romance, relationship, marriage, healing. Healing is interesting to me because maybe it was a relationship you had that shut you down so much that you stopped communicating boundaries or communicating what you wanted, because it was always like, oh, you want to do this cute date? Well, I don't really want to. And that just happened so many times that you just stopped coming up with ideas for cute dates. Or maybe it was like, you want marriage? Well, I don't. And it just got shut down so much. You stopped bringing it up. So it also says meeting. So I wonder if some people are not in a relationship that is allowing you to voice your opinions and speak your truth and be authentic, then meeting someone new could also be in your new reality. Because we did get the world card. So, because success, reward, freedom, we all know we can all find those things in a relationship. Like, let's be real. Like depending on who you marry, like, you can really set yourself up in a different reality just based off one person who you marry. Like, you can also have a lot of freedom in that marriage too. So there's a lot of possibilities with that. That'll be my 2 cents on like relationships is never settle. That doesn't mean that, when I say never settle, I mean like end picture. Like, obviously we don't know when our last day is, but there needs to come a time where you're like, okay, this was what I needed for this time, for this reality, but I'm not settling on this because there's still things I want more. Because who we are surrounded by in our free time, friends, family, relationships, really does impact our reality 100%. Like when I was a child, my reality was dictated by my parents. When I hang out with my friends, my reality is based off of those friends. My reality of how my relationship is and who I am in my relationship depends on the person I'm with. So that definitely says a lot. An environment, again, could be free time, work. I also wonder if the love, romance, relationship one, because it says healing. So I'm wondering if it's also, maybe you've been in some bad relationships, like I said. Maybe you're in a good relationship now, but you were in some bad relationships, so you still have some wounds. And I wonder if part of your new reality will be these wounds being healed. And so it like amplifies the relationship, or you're able to just connect to that other person better without all these fears, or maybe you just got so numb to so many things and you're able to feel those good feelings more. That'd be cool. All right, I think I've rambled on enough for now. If you like these type of videos, I can do more spirituality videos. I really like these, and I've been told a couple times to do longer videos. Girl, with spirituality, I can do long videos, okay? Like makeup, somewhat long. Moderate length. Spirituality, I can do long. We're at 44 minutes right now, okay? So, and I didn't even get to do my crystals or anything, show you guys what I'm wearing, like, like none of that, girl. So, yeah, I love crystal jewelry. I try to wear it on my free time as much as possible. I don't really like to wear it to work or like too much out because I'm like my earrings and stuff, like some of them are loose. I don't know. So yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed this video and it resonated with some of y'all, or maybe you just thought it was interesting to see where I'm at. Yeah, bye y'all.